Every woman who serves in this chamber, in fact, every woman who serves in leadership in Georgia, stands on the shoulders of the women who came before them, women who were role models, like Mrs. Rosalind Carter. Those women look to the future, to the women who will come after them, for whom they are role models, and this film is a tribute to them.
Rosalind Carter was a vital counselor and advisor to the President when they were in the White House, but she was also a role model and an inspiration for young women who were trying to get into the professional field.
Rosalind, throughout her life, has been probably on every board that ever existed.
We don't have anything that really sets us apart from the other comprehensive universities in the state except for the Rosalind Carter Institute.
Mrs. Carter would always have her family together. My mother would have our family together. And back then, families traveled together and politic together, and I have those memories of those two great women making sure their families were part of what was going on and also a part of Georgia politics.
Just a few weeks ago, we were in Korea with the Carters when she made her speech. The next day, this appeared in several of the Korean newspapers. After this appeared, the university was swamped with telephone calls. I mean, it's amazing. And again, it's not so much about caregiving, but it is about the influence and popularity of Mrs. Carter.
My grandmother's been a leader in my family, in her community, in the world for her whole life. And I think it's because she believes at a very fundamental level that a person can make a difference in their community.
Rosalind has always been a caregiver. We wanted to honor her somehow. So we talked with her and we decided that we would form the Rosalind Carter Institute.
I could see not too far in the future when the name Rosalind Carter becomes synonymous with the word caregiving.
You could say about Rosalind that when Rosalind speaks, everyone's listening.
I've always thought of her as a wonderful mentor and role model for women in Georgia.
It's all about our children and our grandchildren and the influence that Mrs. Carter's had on that will reach out for generations to come.
The other thing about my grandmother that's unbelievable to me is her political mind. And this is a political organization, and WIN is a group that all of us support, but I don't know that anybody in their heart is a greater advocate for getting women involved in politics than my grandmother.
Georgia women, like Mrs. Rosalind Carter, have spent their careers breaking through the glass ceiling, making the path ready for the women who will come after them to lead. Georgia's WIN list exists to make sure that we can lift women up through that glass ceiling.
The great thing about Georgia's WIN list is that they support women in many ways. They support with excellent training, they support with resources, and also the emotional support of women who believe in you and know that you'll do a good job.
I'm standing in the chamber of the Georgia House of Representatives. Across the way is the Georgia Senate. Right now, fewer than 20% of those who serve in these chambers are women.
I think the WIN list is one of the greatest groups around because it is the only group really focused on electing qualified Democratic women to state offices.
As we celebrate our 10th anniversary, we know that it is because of your support that we've been able to elect these outstanding women in Georgia. We know that going forward, we're going to need your support at even greater levels so that we can elect more women.
WIN list was a wonderful support network for me, and they helped me to raise money. They had a fundraiser for me. They gave me some excellent training.
We can do this. We can fill these seats with more progressive women who can fight for our families every day, but we need your help. And we hope that you will invest in the future of Georgia and help us write the next chapter in Georgia's history.
WIN list can make a difference. WIN stands for Women in Numbers. That's the mission, that's the goal, and that's how we can truly make a difference in Georgia politics. So I hope you'll join me in supporting Georgia's WIN list with your time, your effort, and your dollars.
Well, my wife Melanie and I have 2 daughters, so it multiplies now. They will make the difference in this race. They'll make the difference on how this race turns out in Georgia. Not only in July, but more importantly in November. And they will actually cast the future for our children and our grandchildren.
Why so important?
Their reasoning is immeasurably better. They will vote stronger at the polls, and they will influence more voters.